Dear friends, here there is a notification from NABARD. NABARD stands for National Bank for Agriculture and Rural Development. It is fully owned by Government of India, and they have released a notification for the recruitment of post of Assistant Manager in Grade A RDBS. So here it is written, applications are invited from Indian citizens for the post of Assistant Manager in Grade A in Rural Development Banking Service, that means in short we call it as RDBS, Rajbhasha Service, in National Bank Agriculture and Rural Development, that means NABARD. Candidates can apply online. You have to apply through online mode only on the NABARD website, that is www.nabard.org. between 17th July, starting date is 17th July and last date is August 7th 2021. So NABARD is an all India apex organization wholly owned by Government of India and is equally important and is equal opportunity employer. So they are telling something about their company. So here the important point is first date is July 17th and last date is 7th August. So next main point is candidates are requested to apply only online through bank's website, that is www.nabard.org. No other mode of submission of application will be accepted by NABARD. Okay. Now the next point is important dates and timelines are given here. Online application registration and payment of online fee and intimation charges. The starting date is 17th July, 7th August 2021. So phase 1 preliminary online examination last week of August. Phase 1 preliminary examination will be last week of August 2021, first week of September 2021. Tentatively, it may change sometimes because of COVID situations, you can think like that. So NABARD reserves the right to make change in the dates of the examination. So now it is tentative dates are last week of August 2021 or first week of September. So the date of mains exam will be separately announced in the website. So here number of vacancies, coming to the number of vacancies, disciplines are something like this. In RDBS AM, General Agricultural Engineering, Animal Husbandry, Fisheries, Forestry, Plantation and Horticulture, Land Development, Soil Science, Water Resources, Finance, Computer and Information Technology, and all these posts cumulatively, the total number of posts are 148. So 148. So category wise breakup is given to you here. So for general it is 74, for agriculture it is 13, agricultural engineering it is 3, animal husbandry it is 4, fisheries it is 6, forestry it is 2, plantation and horticulture it is 6, land development and soil science it is 2, water resources it is 2, finance it is 21, computer information technology it is 15, something like this. So for Rajbhasha AM it is 5. Now clearly after this we can go for some other important. So here it is given that the total number of posts are 140 and 148 is a very good number, right? Now coming to the next important point that you need to know, eligibility criteria. So this eligibility criteria, that means education qualification as on 1st July 2021. So here when they are giving that whenever they are giving bachelor's degree in a particular discipline, that means the candidate must have studied that discipline as a main subject in respective degree course. Okay, it must be mentioned in the degree certificate by the university or any institute that you are studying. So now detailedly the eligibility has been given to you here. First for general post, bachelor degree in any subject from recognized university with a minimum of 60% marks. For SC/ST physically disabled it is 55% in aggregate, or you can have a postgraduate degree MBA or PGDM with a minimum of 55% of marks. For SC/ST and for reserved candidates it is only 50% in aggregate, or CA, CS, ICWA or PhD from institutes recognized by. For CA and PhD the percentage is not mentioned. Okay, now for agriculture posts, so you can have a bachelor degree in agriculture with 60% of marks. For reserved categories SC/ST physically disabled it is 55% in aggregate, or a postgraduate degree in agricultural soil science, agronomy with a minimum of 55%. For reserved candidates it is 50% in aggregate from a recognized university or institution. Coming to agricultural engineering, the eligibility is bachelor's degree in agricultural engineering with 60% of marks. For SC and physically disabled it is 55% in aggregate, or postgraduate degree in agricultural engineering with minimum 55%, that is for general. For SC and physical disabled it is 50% only in aggregate. Now for animal husbandry, you can have a bachelor degree in veterinary sciences, animal husbandry from any recognized university with a minimum of 60% of marks. For SC and physically disabled candidates, it is 55% in aggregate. Or you can have a postgraduate degree in veterinary sciences, animal husbandry with a minimum of 55% marks. For SC and physically disabled, it is 50%. Fisheries, bachelor's degrees in fisheries from a recognized university or institution with 60% marks in aggregate, or postgraduate degree in fishery sciences with 55% marks in aggregate. So forestry, bachelor's degree in forestry, bachelor's degree in forestry from a recognized university or institution with 60% of marks. For SC and physically disabled, it is 55% in aggregate, or a postgraduate degree in forestry with 55% of marks. For SC and physically disabled, it is 50% in aggregate. For plantation and horticulture, you can have a bachelor's degree in horticulture from any recognized university with a minimum 60% of percentage. For SC and physically disabled, it is 55%. Or you can have a postgraduate degree in horticulture with a minimum 55% of marks. For SC and physically disabled, it is 50%. For land development and soil science post, bachelor's degree in agriculture, soil science, agronomy with 60% of marks. For physically disabled applicants, it is 55%. Or you can have a postgraduate degree in agriculture, soil science or agronomy with a minimum of 55% marks. For physically disabled applicants, it is 50% in aggregate from a recognized university or institution. Water resources, in the case of water resources, bachelor's degree in hydrology, applied hydrology or geology, applied geology, hydrogeology, irrigation, water supply and sanitation as one of the subjects with 60% marks. For physically disabled applicants, it is 55% in aggregate. Or you can have a postgraduate degree in hydrology, applied hydrology or geology, applied geology with hydrogeology, irrigation, water supply and sanitation as one of the subjects with 55% of marks in aggregate. For physically disabled persons, it is 50% only. So everywhere you can see a graduation and post-graduation. For post-graduation, they are the relaxation of 5% you can see. And for finance, there are so many people who are eligible. BBA in finance banking, BMS finance banking with 60% of aggregate marks. For SC, ST, physically disabled, it is 55%. Or you can have 2 years full-time PG diploma in management, finance management, full-time MBA degree with 55% of marks. For SC, ST, physically disabled, it is only 50% from institutions, universities recognized by GOI, UGC with bachelor's degree in any discipline. Candidates will be required to submit a certificate from institution university regarding specialization in finance, or a bachelor of financial and investment analysis with 60% of marks. SC, ST, physically disabled person, it is 55%. Or you can have a bachelor's degree in any discipline from a recognized university institution with membership of Institute of Chartered Accountants of India. The membership of ICAI must have been obtained on or before CFA. Now for computer and information technology, you can have a bachelor's degree in computer science, computer technology, computer applications, information technology with 60% marks. For SC and physically disabled persons, it is 55% in aggregate. Or a postgraduate degree in computer science, computer technology, computer application, information technology with 55% of marks. And for SC and physically disabled person, it is 50% in aggregate from a recognized university. So coming to Rajbhasha, assistant manager in grade A Rajbhasha, so it is a second post that he has mentioned. There a bachelor's degree from a recognized university in English or Hindi medium with Hindi and English as a compulsory or elective subject with a minimum of 60% marks. Okay, so you can have a bachelor's degree from recognized university in English or Hindi medium with Hindi and English as a compulsory or elective subject with minimum 60%. For SC, ST and physically disabled, it is only 55%. Or equivalent in aggregate, and it is not or, it is and here. That means along with that, you should have a PG diploma in translation. Minimum 1 year. PG diploma of translation, minimum 1 year diploma in Hindi to English and vice versa. So you should be able to convert, translate Hindi into English and English into Hindi. So from any recognized, you should have a PG diploma in the translation. That is a must for this Rajbhasha assistant manager. Now here, master's degree in Hindi, or along with this, if you don't have this, You can have something like this also, a master's degree in Hindi with a minimum of 60% of marks in aggregate. For SC, ST, PW, it is 55%. Candidates must have studied English as a main or elective subject in at least 2 years of bachelor degree course, or master's degree in English with a minimum of 60% marks in aggregate. SC, ST, physically disabled persons 55%. Candidate must have studied Hindi as a main elective subject in at least 2 years of bachelor degree course. So master's degree in English or Hindi with Hindi and English or Hindi as a main or elective subject. So if you are not having the above bachelor's degree and all these things, in PG degree in Hindi and English with some conditions are also allowed. So clearly they are saying candidate must be able to translate from Hindi to English and vice versa. So you should be able to translate the languages, Hindi and English. So some institutes and university, they maintain CGPA score, OGPA and CPI. So that the conversion is given here. So you can go through this when you download the full notification. And coming to the next point, age, as on July 2021, the candidates must be between 21 and 30 years of age. That is, candidate must have been born not earlier than 2nd July 1991 and not later than 1st July 2000. So there is an relaxation for the upper age limit. That means 21 and 30 years of age. That means not before 2nd July 1991 and not later than 1st July 2000, right? So there is an relaxation in the upper age limit for the reserved candidates for OBC, for SC, ST, etc., etc. Now selection procedure will be done in, they are saying that it will be done in 3 phases. First one is the preliminary examination, you can see here, for RDBS Rajbhasha. So the name of the test, there are 8 papers that are given to you here. Test of reasoning, 20 questions, 20 marks. English language, 30 questions, 30 marks. Computer knowledge, 20 questions, 20 marks. Quantitative aptitude, 20 questions, 20 marks. Decision making, 10 questions, 10 marks. General awareness, 20 questions, 20 marks. Economical and social issues with focus on rural India, that is 40 questions and 40 marks. Agricultural and rural development with emphasis on rural India, that is 40 questions and 40 marks. So bilingual, the question paper will be bilingual. It will be in Hindi and English except the English language test. There is a composite time of 2 hours. That means 120 minutes they are telling. That means it is 2 hours. So in total, the number of questions will be 200. The marks allotted will be 200 and the time is 120 minutes. Now qualifying section, there is a qualifying section. Everything is not in the merit here. There is a qualifying section, test of reasoning, English language, computer knowledge, quantitative aptitude and decision making. They all does not have, are there in the merit section. They are all qualifying. They don't decide your selection, but you should qualify them. But in the merit section, you have general awareness, economical and social issues with focus on rural India, agriculture and rural development with emphasis on rural India. They are considered in the merit. So you should qualify. The minimum qualifying mark will be there. You should qualify. But in these 2 sections, merit will be taken. So shortlisting of the candidates for the mains exam will be based on marks scored in the merit section only. So filtering will be clearly done according to the merit section, not by the qualifying. Qualify compulsory, but according to the merit section only, the filtering to the next stage will be done. So for the mains exam test structure for grade A, the mains exam will be something like this. So for paper 1, it is general English. 2 papers are there. Paper 1 is general English. Online descriptive paper it is. Questions are 3, marks are 100. Duration is 1.5 hours. That means 90 minutes. Descriptive answers should be typed in the keyboard, using the keyboard. And paper 2, economic and social issues. Objective paper is there. 30 questions, 50 marks. Duration is 30 minutes. So descriptive type, and there is also descriptive type in paper 2. 6 questions will be asked, of which candidates will be required to attempt 4 questions. 2 of 15 marks, each with difficulty level, and 2 of 10 marks each. So 50 marks are allotted 1.5 hour for the descriptive type. Descriptive answers to be typed using keyboard either in English or Hindi. So Remington and InScript keyboards. So you can type in any of them. So for the mains exam for the post of specialist, so again 2 papers are given to here. Paper 1 is general English, online descriptive, 3 questions will be there. 100 marks are allotted, 1.5 hour. And descriptive answers should be typed using the keyboard. Again in the paper 2, it is stream specific. So whatever the stream you apply, that is in that paper 2 also, again objective is there, descriptive is there. For objective 30 marks, 30 questions, 50 marks, half an hour, 30 minutes time is allotted. For descriptive type, 6 questions will be asked, of which candidates will be required to attempt 4 questions, 2 of 15 marks each with difficulty. So 50 marks are allotted, duration is 1.5 hours. Descriptive answers to be typed using keyboard either in English or Hindi. Something like this. Okay. So difficulty level, 15 marks with each with difficulty level and 2 of 10 marks each. So this is the setup of paper 2, you can see. So mains examination for the post of Rajbhasha is something like this. Here also there are 2 papers. Paper 1 general English, online descriptive, 3 questions, 100 marks, 1.5 hour. Descriptive answer should be typed using keyboard. Same thing is given here. For paper 2 also stream specific, there is an objective and there is also descriptive in paper 2. For objective 30 questions will be given, 50 marks are allotted, half an hour time is given to you. For descriptive type, same like the previous one, 6 questions will be asked and 4 questions, 2 of 15 marks each, and then 2 questions of 10 marks each. 50 marks are allotted, 1.5 hour. So descriptive answers to be typed using the keyboard. So for interview of Rajbhasha, there is 50 marks allotted. This is how the selection procedure will be going on. Now for every wrong answer, there is a negative marking. So here also there is a negative marking for every wrong answer. 1/4 of the marks assigned to the question that will be deducted as penalty in phase 1 and phase 2 both. In phase 1 exam and phase 2 exam also negative marking is there. In phase 1 and phase 2 may be applied in 2 stages on scores in individual tests on total scores. Only such candidate, here it is given only such candidate. That means there is 1/4 negative marking in phase 1 exam and phase 2 exam also. That means in prelims and mains also. Okay. Now, only such candidates who score minimum cutoff marks above in the mains examination will be shortlisted for the interview. So, those who qualify in the mains examination, only those candidates will be selected for the interview. That is also clearly mentioned here. So, after that, syllabus is clearly mentioned. Syllabus is clearly mentioned here for each and every paper that you are going to write. When you download the complete notification, you can go through this. Very clearly it is given. So after that, the important information, emoluments and service conditions. Pay scale, what will be the pay scale? Selected candidates will draw a basic pay of 28,150 rupees per month in the scale of 28,150 and there are so many emoluments, 34,350 depending on DA and everything. And it is going up to 55,600 is the highest pay that I can see here. 28,150 is the least pay and 55,600. So depending on the parameters of the pay scale, so the maximum pay that you can get in the beginning itself is 55,600 and minimum is 28,150. That is a very good pay. Applicable to officers in grade A and they will be eligible for dearness allowance, that means DA, local compensatory allowances, house rent allowance and grade allowance as per the rules in force from time to time. So at present, initial monthly gross emoluments are approximately 70,000. That is also clearly mentioned. So the people are drawing 70,000. That's a very good pay actually. You should not miss this opportunity, whoever are eligible. So now how to apply? Eligible candidates are required to apply online through www.nabard.org. No other means or mode of application. So only through online you have to apply. The application form should be filled in English only. Only in English the application form will be there. Option for use of Hindi will be available for the online mains examination and interview. For prelims, the application will be in English only. For mains and interview, Hindi language option also will be there to fill up the application form. So the detailed guideline procedure for application registration, payment, application fee, photograph and signature, scan and upload. So clearly again he is mentioning the beginning date and the last date. 17th July is the beginning date, 7th August is the last date and no other mode of application will be accepted. Now before applying online, candidates should scan their, as usual, photograph 4.5 into 3.5, signature, scan of the signature which you have done with black ink, left hand thumb impression and a handwritten declaration on a white paper. With black ink you have to write. What is that? Like this it should be. I, your name you have to write. Hereby declare that all the information submitted by me in the application form is correct, true and valid. I will present the supporting documents as and when required. Okay. So these are the things that you should not put your signature in capital letters. Your style of signature will be there. You should practice your own style of signature and that signature only should be presented there. scanned and uploaded. Have a valid personal ID and mobile number. This is very, very important because all the correspondence will be done through that email and mobile number only. So now the application procedure is you have to go to the bank's website nabard.org and go to the career column, click on apply online. So there you will see click here for new registration, and after you enter the name and contact details and email ID, there will be a provisional registration number and password will be generated by the system that will be displayed on the screen. So immediately the candidate should note down that provisional registration number and password also, and not only you can write down an email and SMS also will be sent to you saying this provisional registration number and password. Okay, so in case the candidate is unable to complete the application form in one go, he or she can save the data already entered by choosing Save and Next tab. Prior to submission of the online application, candidates are advised to use Save and Next. So if you are before going for final submission button, you can save and you can go to the next tab. So but before he is telling that before clicking the final submit button, you should be very careful. So whatever the editing or whatever the changes you have done, you should do it before the pressing the final submit button, right? See here, that's what he is telling. Modify details if required and click on the final submit button after verifying and ensuring that the photograph, signature uploaded and other details filled by you are correct. So then you can go for the payment, click on the payment tab and you can go for the payment and then you can submit. So payment of fee in the online mode, the application form is integrated with the payment gateway, and you can pay the payment through Master, Visa, RuPay, debit cards or credit cards or internet banking, IMPS, cash cards, mobile wallets by providing information asked on the screen. After submitting your payment information on the application form, please wait for the intimation from the server. Do not press back or refresh button in order to avoid double charge. So once the payment is done, see here mobile wallets are also, almost all the modes of payment are given to you. Master, Visa, RuPay, RuPay debit cards, credit cards, internet banking, IMPS, cash cards, mobile wallets. Almost all the modes of payment are given to you, but you should not, once the payment is done, you should not refresh the button. So in the tension that it is gone or not, once if you press the server again and again, you will be charged double. So intimation from the server should come whether your payment procedure has been successful or failed. So on successful completion of the transaction, e-receipt will be generated. If there is no e-receipt generated, that means it is payment failure. Clearly it is given to you here, right? And you should take out the printout of that e-receipt and online application form. Please note that if the same cannot be generated, online transaction may not have been successful. If the e-receipt is not generated again and again, he is telling it may be हो सकता है कि the transaction is not successful. So you should not put refresh. The server will tell you whether it is failure or whether it is successful. So if it is successful, definitely e-receipt will be generated. If the e-receipt is not generated, that means that it may not have been successful. You can think like that. Then you can go for another trial. Okay. So the fee is not refundable. Clearly you can see here, and all the other general instructions for the filling the application form is given to you. So what I have told you, there are some important points that you should know compulsory, like last date, and if again he has given the important dates here. Site is www.nabard.org. So 17th July is the starting date and 7th August is the finishing date. So you can go through the website, and I suggest you to download the complete application and go through. If there is a provision for you, take a printout of the not application, it is notification. Take the printout of the notification and go through the notification thoroughly, and don't miss this opportunity. If you are eligible to apply for this post, do apply. All the best.